Hello guys and welcome to Tech Insane. Today we will be talking about the weapons that could have prevented the Russian invasion of Ukraine if Ukraine had it in its arsenal. And before we go on, please go ahead, click the like button, subscribe and share this video to your loved ones. Thank you. Let's take our illustration from the United States military. The United States military is the most formidable in the world, and all four branches are in many instances doing research and development into the next generation of Navy weaponry. Weapons of conflict have become exponentially more technologically superior over the last century, and it can be mind-boggling to see just how far we've come considering the days of biplanes and rifles. With any good fortune, the most powerful of these weapons will never have to be deployed during improper warfare. However, it can give us an experience of security to understand that our armed forces have them at the disposal must the need arise. These are the 10 deadliest weapons that are currently part of the arsenal of the United States Army, which may want to have saved Ukraine if she additionally had it in its arsenal. We start with number 1. The Active Denial System. The Active Denial gadget or ADS is technically supposed to be a non-lethal weapon, but as with most weapons of this type, it can virtually be pretty deadly if no longer used properly. The ADS doesn't fire any projectiles. It's a directed energy weapon, which might sound like something out of science fiction. However, the vehicle-mounted ADS has been in use for a decade, and it's convenient to see why it has earned the sinister nicknames Heat Ray or Ache Ray. It works particularly in a similar fashion to a microwave oven, which must tell you all you want to recognize about this weapon's potential for inflicting serious damage. The ADS emits a person-sized beam of millimeter waves, a type of electromagnetic radiation. The beam is invisible, but if you are in its path you'll understand it straight away. It produces a strong burning sensation which slowly gets stronger the longer the person is exposed to it. Stick around lengthy enough and you'll sense like you're about to burst into flames, which makes the ADS pretty fantastic for crowd dispersal. While the ADS is typically mounted to ground vehicles, a 2011 redecorate allowed it to be operated from a transferring aircraft, and the Navy has additionally experimented with mounting the gadgets to gunships. Let's discuss about the number 2 weapon on our list. The Avenger Defense System. The Avenger Defense System is a lightweight, extremely portable surface-to-air missile deployment gadget typically mounted on the backs of combat vehicles. It has a state-of-the-art infrared targeting device that allows it to find its goals at some stage in day or night time in any and all climate conditions. They're generally deployed with a cache of Stinger missiles. However, in 2008 the Avenger system received an upgrade. The manufacturer Boeing has long been experimenting with what may want to accurately be described as a laser cannon, and the most recent version of the Avenger, as it should be dubbed the Laser Avenger, integrates a directed energy laser weapon. With the Avenger's general kinetic energy-based weapons, a real-life laser cannon might seem a little a ways out. However, the system has undergone profitable testing. In 2009 the Laser Avenger used to be able to successfully track 3 unmanned aerial vehicles during a test and shoot one of them down using only its laser. Of course, this device is possibly to see other applications in the close to future, but it's interesting to know that the military currently possesses proper laser guns capable of tracking and shooting objects out of the sky, and that such weapons are no longer solely in the realm of sci-fi. Ukraine would have been a great deal safer with Avenger Protection System. Now to number 3. The M3E1. The M3E1 is truly the modern-day iteration of the Carl Gustav, a lightweight anti-armor machine which was once first developed by its namesake inventor in 1946. While it appears like nothing so a lot as a rocket launcher, it is actually technically a recoilless rifle. It will be one that fires a variety of massive 84mm rounds which are expressly designed to penetrate a tank's armor. The weapon is successful of being operated by just one soldier. However, an additional soldier commonly tags alongside to carry ammunition and reload. It's outfitted with both fixed iron and optical sights and can additionally be used in conjunction with an image intensification system for operation at night. The latest version, produced in 2017, is successful of firing a multitude of distinctive rounds and can be equipped with an sensible targeting system and programmable ammunition. It's also shorter, lighter and more ergonomically designed than earlier models. Tanks have been a phase of warfare for over 100 years, and for as long as they have been deployed, opposing forces have grappled with ways to take them down. With at least one M3E1 subjected to each infantry squad, deploying them against US military forces simply got a lot riskier. Imagine taking out hundreds of Russian tanks with this weapon. Let's bring it up to number 4. The C-130 cargo plane. The C-130 cargo plane has long been a staple of the US Armed Forces. However, this model was designed for extra than just hauling cargo. The Lockheed AC-130, also known by the names of its variants Spectre, Spooky, Stinger II and Ghost Rider, isn't going to be flying any solo missions. it's too massive and slow of a target, and the truth that it has an unpressurized cabin capability that it can only fly at a comparatively low altitude, but with suitable guide it will become a nightmare for opposing ground forces because this is one huge sluggish target which happens to be armed to the teeth. The AC-130 doesn't strafe its targets like many gunships. Alternatively, it performs a pylon turn, all through an assault, essentially moving in a circle over its target while unloading its bold cache of ammo. The popular Mannequin is equipped with one L-60 Bofors 40mm cannon and one 105mm M102 howitzer. The spooky model also aspects 125mm equalizer cannon with an accelerated firing system and increased ammunition capacity. These gunships have been providing close air assist for U.S. operations for over 50 years, and they have a sterling combat document, having been deployed as far lower back as the Vietnam War and as recently as the cutting-edge conflict with ISIS, and with adjustments and revisions ongoing, the stars of America's gunship arsenal are solely primed to get deadlier. This C-130 would have significantly reduced the casualties on Ukrainian side. Now it is about to get exciting. Let's speak about number 5. The Mk-19. The Mk-19 was developed for the duration of the Vietnam fighting. However, the first design was deemed too risky to use in the field. It took vast revisions for the unit to sooner or later be adopted by the U.S. Army in 1983. However, it's remained in service ever since. The most succinct way to describe the Mk-19 is image of a machine gun in full operation. Now imagine it's firing grenades. Sure, the unit is a belt-fed 40mm wholly automatic grenade launcher which fires at a rate of up to 60 rounds, and again by way of rounds we mean real grenades per minute. It has a ridiculous range of 1,600 to 2,400 yards. It can be fired from a vehicle mount or a tripod and is geared up with a flash suppressor, no longer for concealing the unit's position at some point of middle of the night operation but for defending the eyesight of its operator. It's an extremely versatile weapon. Hovering enemy helicopters, armored motors and enemy bunkers are just a few of the aims the Mk-19 is capable of taking out. Its rounds can pierce 2-inch thick armor, and they produce fragments which would kill or wound any personnel within a 15-meter radius of impact. The unit is each and every bit as devastating as one would assume the union of laptop gun and grenade launcher to be, and in addition to the U.S., they're employed by using nearly 30 allies round the globe. Except Ukraine. Number 6. The Mars. It might seem like a mini tank, but it's actually something a good deal scarier: an armed robotic soldier. The Mars, or Modular Advanced Armed Robotic Device, isn't fully self-sustaining. It does require an operator. However, as the platform was designed exceptionally for surveillance and reconnaissance, it can handle just about any terrain that a human soldier can, and it packs just as a great deal firepower. The Mars is outfitted with 7 cameras so that its operator can screen potential threats coming from any direction, and of course they can be switched to infrared mode for nighttime operations. The unit has a 360-degree rotating turret outfitted with an M240 beam computing device gun and for grenade launcher tubes, and it packs 1 grenade for each tube along with 450 rounds of ammo. It can cruise along at up to 7 miles per hour and can journey up to 1,000 meters from its handler. The unit can be modified for non-combat functions. These structures can include a loudspeaker, a laser dazzler, a siren, or a manipulator arm capable of lifting 120 pounds. It is a honestly unique and versatile gadget, and of direction each one deployed to the field, potential fewer human lives at risk. This would have been a nightmare to the enemies in Ukraine. Wow, here we are at the almighty number 7. The Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. The Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, named for World War II United States Pacific Fleet Admiral Chester W. Nimitz, has done more to improve the purpose of peace than nearly any different weapon of war in history. There are 10 of them active around the world, every of them powered by twin of 4W nuclear reactors which literally supply them limitless. Very as the title implies, the Nimitz-class carriers are successful of delivering up to 70 aircraft, any and all of which may be equipped with free-fall nuclear weapons anywhere around the globe. The presence of these craft serves as a strong nuclear deterrent, as they are able to deploy a struggle pressure of nuclear-outfitted bombers to locations around the world at a moment's notice. But they're now not the most important part of that equation when it comes to striking concern into the hearts of America's enemies. Even the mighty Nimitz class is outclassed by way of a weapon that is also used in conjunction with a different vessel, which can be viewed as the satisfaction of the U.S. Navy. Really desire Ukraine ought to have afforded this earlier. Number 8. The Trident II. The Trident II is surely the most powerful and dependable missile in the arsenals of both the US and UK. Designed to be launched from a submarine, the Trident is a 3-stage rocket with a dazzling range of 4,230 nautical miles while carrying a full payload. It's considered to be a necessary component of U.S. nuclear deterrence, as they're capable of hitting their targets with nearly as excessive a degree of accuracy as land-based missiles and are each bit as devastating. The Trident has been in service each in the US and UK considering that 1990, but it's no longer a standalone machine. The marvels of present-day conflict in which their house can be positioned strategically at virtually any area with very little notice, and they are key to ensuring that nuclear-equipped enemies think very carefully before thinking about that most dire of options. Ukraine must virtually purchase this immediately after the war. Hell yeah. Number 9. The Ohio-class submarine. The Ohio-class submarine is the largest ever built for the U.S. Navy, designed to raise out deterrent patrols around the world. Each one is armed with up to 24 Trident II missiles, with each one of those geared up with a dozen multiple independently targetable re-entry automobiles, every of which carries its own warhead. Do the math and you'll see that each Ohio-class submarine is loaded with adequate nuclear firepower to level an entire country in very little time, and the United States has 18 of them. These boats signify perchance the most important section of the U.S. nuclear triad, with the other two being land-based missiles and nuclear bombers. In reality, put a first nuclear strike through an enemy against the U.S. stands a decent hazard of wiping out a precise element of our missile and bomber arsenal, but Ohio submarines are designed for stealth, making them very tough to discover and song. With these subs patrolling the international waters, initiating a nuclear strike against the United States would basically quantity to suicide. And it's worth noting that the UK, one of our staunchest allies, has 24 nuclear subs of its very own, additionally equipped with Trident IIs. Nuclear weapons are terrifying in anyone who values existence on Earth, which really should be all of us. Sincerely hopes that they will in no way be used again. A long time of non-proliferation on the part of the US and Russia have severely reduced the range of nukes and provider, however, of route those that remain have the strength to spoil the entire world dozens of times over. Hostile international locations such as Iran and North Korea have insisted that they too have a right to elevate a massive stick, so to speak, but when it comes to sheer destructive power, the USA incorporates the biggest stick of any kingdom on Earth. This would be the B-83. Number 10. The B-83. The B-83 is a nuclear warhead with a downright excessive amount of negative power designed to be dropped from a bomber. The B-83 yields an improbable 1.2 megatons of explosive strength, that is the equivalent of 1,200,000 lots of TNT. To put this in perspective, it truly is about 80 instances more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima, close to the quid of World War II, making it without problems the most powerful freefall weapon in the entire US arsenal. Russia would not have dared to attack if Ukraine had this up their sleeves. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions for things we missed over the course of the video, let us know in the comments section. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and share with friends, and subscribe to Tech Insane channel for more regular countdown videos such as this one.